Hi everyone. I just finished washing the truck. Gonna come back into the garage and actually see if we can get some work done on the knife. I forgot to actually record when I drilled the holes to my knife, but no big deal. Simple process. I just used the Harbor Freight tabletop drill press. Drilled in 3/4 inch holes. Two are going to be brass pins and one's going to be a brass lanyard hole. Then I started thinking about it. I was going to go ahead and freehand the edge of my knife, but I don't know. I just got this little grinder, belt sander, and I figured, you know what, I better try something a little more accurate before I go ahead and attempt the free-handed stuff. Typically I would use my 4-inch belt sander, but this time I'm going to opt to use my 1-inch. I purchased this from Harbor Freight, and the table is actually just a nice piece of aluminum. Actually, it's believed to be about a quarter inch thick aluminum. But what I did is I went ahead and made it a jig for my knife, and it was based initially off of the RDP project website on YouTube. There were a couple of other guys that viewed that video and went back through and generated an alternate type of grinding jig. So in essence, what I did is I just came out and I basically done the same thing. I use, as you can see here, I use thumb screws all around except for the two securing bolts. This one is designed to actually go through the lanyard hole and the front brass pin on this Woodlore clone. These two here, they're kind of neat. I took this from another guy's idea, but again, I used just the thumb turn screws and then a couple of lock nuts so they don't back out. But what you can do, actually, it could be used two ways. If you like, you can actually turn these thumb screws in and rest the knife blade or spine of the blade actually on those two screws once you have your desired angle set, and just hold it with your fingers and run it across in this manner, and then just pick it up, set it back down, and then do your opposite edge, and you're going to grind out a very consistent edge. This way, the way I have my knife actually mounted now, I am going to have to unbolt it and flip it around, and as you can see, I don't have the tabletop permanently mounted. I just have it on with a C-clamp type of device, and when I get ready to do the other side, what I'll do is I'll just flip my piece of aluminum and flip my knife in the grinding jig and go ahead and finish it off that way. It's fully adjustable. Right now, the angle it is resting at is 13 degrees. Let's see if I can pick that up for you. So it is going to be ground out to a 13-degree Scandi grind is what I'm going to put on it. I used an inclinometer to set the angle, so it is fairly accurate. I wanted something. I actually drew up my drawing, as you saw previously, on AutoCAD, and where I wanted the bevel to end, I actually measured from there to the center point, the finishing edge, the cutting edge of the knife, and generated an angle at which to achieve that. And according to AutoCAD, it came out to 13 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grind this out, and we'll see how she comes out. So I'll see you shortly. Thanks. Okay, everyone, I just wanted to take a real quick pause in the grinding process and just show you how it's progressing. If you look real close, you can actually see the pencil line that was scribed that it was supposed to intersect, and it is right on the money. So thus far, hopefully it remains that way, but the jig is working out perfectly. Outstanding so far. No issues. I do have my container here with just some cool water for my quenching process, keep my blade cool, and I'm taking my time. I'm not rushing this. I'm in no hurry. Don't want to heat the blade up too much, so maybe 1-2 passes at the most, and then I go ahead and quench it for a couple seconds. So I'm going to continue on, and we'll give you an update here shortly. Thanks for watching. Alright, everyone, it got a little late on me. A neighbor came over and kind of distracted me from what I was doing, but finally finished up. It's dark, so I got a big old bright light there shining on my belt sander, trying to give you a view of the finished blade. It actually came out pretty good, pretty good. I still have the jig attached. I'm going to take it inside now and take it off the jig, wipe it down, and go ahead and sharpen it. I'm going to go ahead and sharpen it, get it ready for the heat treat process. I finished it up with, actually I took the majority of the metal off with a 220, no, I'm sorry, with an 80 grit belt, and then I finished it off with a 120. So now I'm going to take it inside and go through the sharpening process and put an edge on it and see how she comes out, get it ready to start doing the scales for it. I believe I was going to go with bird's eye maple. I just don't have any, can't seem to locate any in a timely manner. So I'm going to probably use some Brazilian cherry. I have some Brazilian cherry, and I'm going to go ahead and put on some red liners with it. So, you know, after the sharpening process and it's heat treated, I'll start thinking about what I'm going to use for scales. It could even possibly be antler at this point. I have some elk antler laying around, so I may use that. But keep tuned, and I'll keep you updated as we progress. Thanks for watching. Alright, everyone. Brought the knife blank back into the house. Took it off the jig. As you can see, there's a picture of the jig. Like I stated before, it is set at a 13-degree angle. That's what I actually ground my blank out to. The two studs here, again, as was mentioned before, they can be either used to push out on the bottom of an external plate to keep the knife blank square in the jig, or you can screw them in so they protrude to this side, an 1/8 of an inch or whatever thickness of metal you're using, and act as a rest. So you can set your blade on and then go through the grinding process. I think it came out pretty well. It works extremely well. First time I used it and ground out my blank, as you can see, it came out pretty well. What I did notice once I got it off and wiped it down, got the tape off and everything, is the tip here. One side is a little steeper than the other, so I'm gonna take it out tomorrow and finish putting in the correct angle so they both match up, and she should be done. It's just a little bit late in the evening now, so I don't want to get back out into the garage. A little bit dark out there. It was a little hard to see, so I'm gonna save it for the morning and put an edge on it, and like I stated before, get it ready for the heat treat process, and we'll go from there. So stay tuned.